The 70 weeks prophecy of Daniel is now being unraveled. And the unraveling of the 1 week of years prophecy, and also the 69 weeks of years prophecy of Daniel. And also the interpretation of Daniel's vision. And also about Gabriel's angel, explanation of the chronology of the eschatological events of the world to Daniel about E's coming and the end of E's world. And also about the coming consummation of Satan and his minions. And the end of the last kingdom of Satan. And about E's coming judgment of the wicked and the wicked dead at the end of E's world. And the coming of E's white throne judgment at the end of E's world. And also the coming of E's everlasting righteous kingdom, and the coming of Elu, as the Ancient of Days, but first shall come as Elu'hymn, and as Christ. And lastly, when shall come as the sovereign judge, and as the sovereign king of earth. Daniel chapter 9. Verse 23 to 27, And Daniel, it was at the beginning of your supplication that commanded me to come to you. And I am now come down from heaven to enlighten you. And I am now here to show you the interpretation of your vision, because you are greatly loved, you are beloved. Now this is the interpretation of the vision and the understanding of the whole matter, and this is the answer that you were praying about. Therefore let your mind now be at ease. And now your soul can now rest in peace. Therefore Daniel, you should consider that this vision is spreading over a 7,000 years time span before this vision should come to an end. Because this vision shall take 7,000 years to complete before all of these prophecies are being fulfilled. And because Elu has already determined that these years shall be allotted to this prophecy, and also upon E's people, and also upon E's holy city, and it shall fulfill in the end time when shall return to establish E's holy kingdom in E's world. Therefore when shall come forth first from a virgin. And then Elu shall make the atonement for all the transgressions of all people that are in E's world. And then shall make an end of all the sins, and also all the sins that are in E's world. And shall make the reconciliation for all of our iniquities. And when Elu'hymn shall finish E's salvation plan, then shall bring in E's everlasting kingdom, and also E's righteousness in E's earth. And then all of E's prophecies them shall be fulfilled. Because Elu shall unseal all of these prophecies before Elu shall return. So you seal up this interpretation to this vision, and to these revelations that are in this book, until when Elu shall unravel it at a later time, and at the time of the end. And until the time that shall come. And until Elu, the Most High shall come, and when E's holy habitation shall come down from heaven, and for when Elu'hymn shall come to live amongst us. And until shall reveal himself to all of us. And also until E's holy kingdom shall be reigning from E's holy throne in E's earth. And when Elu shall gather all of E's chosen ones at the end time. So now that you know this, then you can now understand this. Now Daniel, you now can understand why shall come to fulfill all of these prophecies. And now you know this, you can now understand that Elu shall send E's holy prophet, whom shall be the Son, and from the coming forth of Elu'hymn whom shall be the Son whom shall be born of a virgin, and whom shall come first. Then as Elu'hymn shall come to fulfill E's commandments. And also to teach E's commandments to us. And also to restore E's righteousness in E's earth. And to establish E's holy Jerusalem in E's earth. And at a time when E's holy Jerusalem shall descend from E's heaven into E's earth. And shall be introduced as the odd. And the Christ. And also shall be introduced as Elu'hymn, the Messiah. And this will be the coming of the Messiah. So must come, and be born as the Messiah first. And after E's coming then Satan shall come, who is the prince of darkness. And Satan shall continue to deceive E's world until the end of the 7,000 years. But, Daniel, you must remember that shall come first, and now you know this, then you should understand this, that shall come first, Christ. and that he shall die for many, before returning to his holy habitation, and after that many people shall be killed. And many people, even those in Italy and Rome and in the old Jerusalem, which was known as the Eternal City before it was renamed to the Vatican City, and before it was called the Vatican, and that it would be destroyed in the era 2069 years. And then after that the streets shall be built again, and the walls shall be rebuilt, even in blusterous times. And after the 2069 years, then Elu'hymn, the Messiah shall be cut off from them. But not forever. Because he shall resurrect himself, in literally 3 days, and then the prince of the people that shall come, he shall destroy their city which is now called Jerusalem and also their sanctuary. And in the end their cities which was called Jerusalem shall be destroyed by many floods, and by a huge earthquake, and also by an army. And at the end of the world there would be many wars and earthquakes which shall cause destruction in the nations them that are in his world. And even in those nations which had these bombing a nation weapons, and which shall cause many of the cities them that are in his world to become inhabitable. And also which shall cause many of the nations them to become wasted. And many countries shall be made into desolate lands by their bombing a nation campaign. But many of them shall be left unscathed that are in his world. And Daniel, this would be the end of Satan's rule in his earth. And also Satan's kingdom in his world. As he has already determined all of this, and so would he bring Satan's kingdom down. And also this is how his world would come to its end. And many of the people that are in his world they would be lost, but many lives would also be saved. But this world, and Satan's kingdom and Satan's reign would certainly come to an end. Hallelujah. And then he shall return, and then he shall establish his holy kingdom in his world. And then Elu'hymn shall confirm his covenant for 1 day of the week, 1,000 years, when he shall return to reign in Satan. And also for a period of 3 days of the week, which is also a period of the 1,000 years, when he shall come to gather his elect, then they would be with he, for 1 day of the week, a biblical 1,000 years, but when he shall return as Elu'hymn during that week, and during the midst of the 3rd day of that week, the wall of the city of Jerusalem shall be rebuilt, and during the 3.5 days of that week, the 3,000.5 days of that week, then he shall be born as Elu'hymn, the Holy One, and as Christ. And that would be when Elu'hymn, the Sovereign One of heaven, shall be born as the Holy Child, when Elu'hymn shall become Elu'hymn the Savior. Then after that when he shall come at the end of the 7 days of the week. The biblical 7 days of the week, the era of 7,000 years, as Elu'hymn, the righteous judge. Then he would returns as he, the Almighty, and also as he, the King, and as he the Sovereign One of all the heavens and his earth, and whom shall return to reign in Satan, and who shall cause all the wars to cease, and whom shall also stop all the fighting between the nations them and cause them to cease. And then the nations them shall all give up their weapons. And then they shall make the sacrifice to destroy all their nuclear weapons them, and also all of their armies, and their ammunition. And then they shall make an oblation to Elu'hymn. And then the world would be cleansed from all of the dead corpses, and from all of the destruction, and also from all of the weapons that were used for the destruction of the nations them that are in his world, and then they shall rid themselves from the weapons, their nuclear weapons that were being used for the bombing of nations them, and also all the weapons that were being used to cause all the devastation, and also all the weapons that were causing the desolation all over the nation them, and also all weapons that were causing all the acts of God, and the disasters, and the diseases which was spreading death, and destruction everywhere. And also of all the weapons them that were precision and tactical nuclear weapons, and that were causing desolation all over the nations them that were in his world. And which were the weapons them that were being used by the military wings which were spreading fire and brimstone with their bombings, and which were the weapons that were being used for the bombings of the nations them. Then these weapons they were all being destroyed, and they all would be done away with. And then these nations that are left, they would sacrifice them for agricultural tools, and for farming tools, and for tools for tilling the ground. And they would never again create any such weapons to make war again in E's world. Nor neither would there be any nations making them any more. And neither would there be any more war in E's world. Nor neither would there be any nation making any more weapons to make E's world desolate again. And then Elu shall vanquish Satan, and even all those nations that were fighting against the Elu'hymn. And there would be a consummation of hailstones and fire, as Elu fire, hailstones, and fire down from E's heaven. And it would consume Satan, and his armies. And that would be the end of them. Because this is what E has already determined. And E's hailstones, and E's fires shall consume them all, as E's fire is poured out upon them. And then E's holy kingdom would be established in E's earth. And most of E's world would lay in desolation. Thank you. The end. To be continued.